Tim Cook.
Good morning, especially to you, Jackus, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We are 2 days, not even 2 days removed from a very volatile event in the markets. We got a lot to talk about today, I'm sure. I'm Snorlax. Of course, you guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, Jackus, and Louis Tuesday. And it seems we're also joined by Dinesh as well. Oh, we have a lot of fun on this show, guys, if you haven't already picked up on that. But I hope you have all had a much better Tuesday than Monday, hopefully. Like I said, obviously, we have had quite a bit of volatility already this week, and I can't imagine that the rest of the week is really going to be any different. But before we can start dissecting that volatility, kind of where we expect the market to be trading, crypto and equities, not just this week, but over the coming months, I'm going to need you guys to smash that like button. And you really showed out yesterday, right? I mean, I think we hit 600 likes at one point. Maybe even broke the Market Check record for likes on a stream. So shout out to you guys. You really show up on these days where we have a ton of volatility. I'd love if we could do it again. We are going to do our best to cook you up a delicious meal once again. But we can go ahead and dive into the charts, right? I mean, obviously, we are seeing some recovery across the board. A lot of green today. A lot of green yesterday. I just get that picture is throwing me off, Max. I gotta say,
what's throwing you off about the picture, Tommy? I don't understand. I don't understand how I'm causing a problem for you. I feel like that's a you thing. If you're having a problem, like, what's the issue here? I see no issue.
It's staring into my soul, man. It's staring into my soul. But yeah, we got a lot of good.
Highlight the comment.
You know what Tiger Woods' dad used to do when he was hitting golf balls? He used to bang pots and pans together. If you can't overcome Dinesh and his stare of 1,000 suns, then I'm not sure that you're qualified to give an intro. This should be light work, man. I mean, it's a piercing glare. I will give you that, but this is one of those moments that, like, you have to find the mental fortitude and stare back through Dinesh, despite his comments and the angle of his brow. You got this, Tommy. Like, I know you can do this. I believe.
I feel like I saw that in a Nike advertisement one time, but oh man, yeah. No, we're seeing a lot of green across the board, right, guys? I mean, we're seeing that mechanical VIX crush. Obviously, it traded up to 65 yesterday, which we have only seen a reading on the VIX that high 2 or 3 times ever in history. So yesterday was very significant. We continue as a market to kind of digest not just the implications of some of these moves across the board, right, with individuals, with the VIX, with ETH, but also the liquidity implications that come from everything that's been going on in Japan. I believe that they even had to trigger the circuit breaker again last night in Asia session, but this time to the upside. So volatility is abundant. I think that is going to remain a theme for probably not just this week, for the coming weeks as well. And that is not exclusive to Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Like, that is going to probably be every single market, globally speaking, which, if you're a trader, amazing opportunity. If you're an investor, amazing opportunities, right? You have much lower prices than a few months ago, deep value levels if you believe that we are still in an uptrend. But I'd love to get everybody's thoughts on the markets. Is that a pig with
let me help you, Tommy. Let me
Pig
help you.
with a head.
I love
That's
it.
a pig with a head.
That's a hog with dynamite strapped to it, Tommy. That's what happened. That's what happened. We were nuking and the Patriots stepped in. Right about
At least
here.
he's smiling, right? At least he's smiling. But
Did you ever find that video?
No, it's. I think they deleted it from everywhere, dude.
I bet it's on, like, Reddit or something.
Yeah, I bet it's on some weird website for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for Europeans to be able to see that video and learn something. So,
Jack, did you see that?
You guys keep on promising, but then you say you cannot find it. So I do not know what is wrong.
they got deleted off Twitter, man.
I'll look harder for you.
That's how you know it was bad, when Twitter pulled the video down.
Probably.
It was.
But I've
pretty
seen
violent.
worse. Max, do you trust me? I've seen worse in my life. and I have not seen
based on
this.
your sense of humor, I know you've seen worse. Yeah.
For sure.
What are you
Yeah.
suggesting?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Okay, Jack, just
hope
real
so.
quick. You had a change in profile picture. You had the horse puking, and now you have
Mm.
yesterday you had the European fan, was a Swiss fan, maybe? I can't remember.
Yes.
Some fake sport fan of soccer cheering, and now you have this guy.
Do you know who he is? I do hope so. I do hope that Chad helps me here.
I
Do you
don't know
know-
who that is. No.
Do you know who is on my profile picture?
That has to
'Cause
be
it's-
Cristiano Ronaldo, right?
Because it's perfectly working on Max, my profile
you're
picture.
playing. I know.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
good.
Of course, I know who Ronaldo is.
Okay, all right.
Tucker, you need to go log mode. Trust me, I know what you're trying to do. Just go log mode. Save yourself the time.
I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. See, look, I already got it. No log needed.
You know, somebody commented on our stream yesterday. We got Louis back.
There we go.
They said two things. One, they said, I love your guys' show, but I can't play it because I'm with like my kids and you guys, your language is not good. And then another guy said, I love the show, but I hate when you guys fractal. And then I thought about it and I'm like, bro, that's the entire show is us like swearing at each other and fractaling.
Yep. Yep.
But
I mean,
This guy.
I don't know what that means.
You know, you got
Jebaited?
debated. You got debated,
I don't know.
and
what
you
that
did
is.
not even know.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The people that's a Twitch slang, but never mind.
Mm. Oh, Jackus. No, but yeah, real quick. Let's dive into the charts,
Oh,
guys.
we lost Louis again.
Where does Louis keep going?
Dude,
This is-
Louis.
we're not even 10 minutes into the show yet. He's been gone.
You're
20
you're getting debated, and he's getting rugged.
I don't know what jebaited means.
Still don't know what it means. Yeah.
Look at this. Only reason I show up is for swearing and fractals. I mean, that's what I thought, you know, but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I get it. Like, I would say it's definitely not like a PG show, but it's not like R-rated. It's more like PG-13. Like, I wouldn't watch it with like young kids, but I get it, you know.
Not R-rated, and then I use the R word.
Yeah, then Jack is sick sense of humor takes over, and he just, oh man, Tucker, what?
I mean, you know, if you account for the market cap difference, right? You could argue. You know, obviously we had a VIX blowout here. We didn't back here when Bitcoin ETF dropped, but kind of similar.
Wait,
right?
wait, Tucker, I have an issue with that fractal. That's not accurate. I'm going to tell you why. That's not when the ETH ETF launched, brother.
Oh, is it right here?
It was right there.
Jeez, are we gonna have to drop lower?
No. We're good. We're good. If you drop lower, it's over. Like that's
All right. Let's just not drop lower then.
yeah.
Either way, 15 days, 12 days, big drop. I bet the Bitcoin market cap is double that of ETH. So there you go. It's compensated for, right? I mean, vertical accumulation came back, tested kind of the top of it. ETH just not as clean, obviously, because it's ETH and it just trades somewhat terribly. But I mean, similar, very, very similar. I think Grayscale should be about out of ETH at this point, if this is going to track, right? But I don't know. I would expect either us to pump from here or just to set a higher low, right? Like, you know, obviously Max has the COVID fractal, which would suggest a higher low potentially, but I don't think you necessarily have to do that, right? Like, I think you can just kind of rip, but it depends on indices, right? Like, I think you got to get back above, like, you know, this candle right here, probably. Right.
I think you will, bro. Honestly, like, okay, zoom out a little bit. This is how I'm viewing it. So if you draw a horizontal line under all those lows at like 2,900,
No, yeah, I like it from right here.
No. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
yes, but what
it's
I
the
was
same
saying is
line, yeah.
like where we just broke down from at
Trading
29.
view line
Oh,
is bounce.
up
Yeah,
here.
right
you're
there.
talking about? Yeah,
So I feel like we'll come. That's going to get retested no matter what at some point.
yeah.
I don't know when. Maybe it's today. Maybe it's a month from now. That is going to get retested. I think
Yes.
I think you're going to reject somewhere around there. Maybe you overshoot it. Maybe you front run it. I don't know. I don't care. Somewhere between 2,800 and 3,000 is going to get hit. That's your region to, in my opinion, short hedge or de-risk some of your beta if you think we're going lower. That's an obvious retest spot. But I think what
Mhm.
happens, and maybe you could draw a little squiggle for me, Tucker, is I
Yes.
think you probably squiggle up to that box, whether you are on the low side or the top side, pull back a little bit, shallow, something like that. Yep, exactly. Higher, low,
Yeah,
bang.
yeah.
That's what I'm expecting at this point.
Mhm.
Unless it's completely over.
I
Then we
think
just
it's either that or you do like, even just to here and then higher low and then you just
bro. Okay,
go.
now Dinesh and I have a problem, man. Now Dinesh and I have I
Oh,
okay.
Dinesh
Now Dinesh and I have a problem.
coming for you.
That must be Albert trolling. I do not believe him anymore.
Yeah, this has to be Albert trolling, man. Here's what I think about that, Dinesh. Okay. I only have one thing. I don't even have anything to say to you.
Max,
I have one thing
for Japan.
to show you. Okay. This is all that I have to show you in response to that. I have nothing to even say.
Mm. He's
That's it.
trolling. He's trolling. Max, you should apologize for letting the Japanese economy melt down over an illiquid
How do you
weekend.
not have predicted Black Swan event?
So Twitter doesn't know this, and YouTube doesn't know this, but I was actually prepared for it. I last minute took some preparations. So I've been known to be a last minute flipper, of course,
Mhm.
but there was some flipping at the last minute. But I've mostly removed my hedges. So I've got some stables though, man. I've got some stables that I'm getting excited about deploying. But if we're gonna look at the COVID fractal, right? I think it's not going to be the same. It's never exactly the same. But if we're going to look at this, here is what I think probably happens next, right? So we talked about ETH doing that underside retest of 2,800 to 3,000 at some point. In my opinion, that level, like let's zoom in a little bit, okay? That level for Bitcoin is probably about 59, okay? It's somewhere around here. Because you've got this whole cluster where it's like you clearly nuked through support, right? You had a VIX spike just like COVID for the S&P 500, same exact thing. You've got this little like bulls tried to step in and hold support, obviously got nuked through, same type of COVID breakdown. Right now, you're somewhere in this region, right? If this fractal is going to play out, you probably continue to just chop up like this, something like this. And I think if you are going to get bearish, you probably get bearish like up in this region, 58, 59K. And then if it's not the COVID fractal, then I think you roll over from there. But I mean, I see some major similarities. Like you can see right here before the nuke happened for COVID and for where we just were, buyers tried to step in at support. You can see the little green candles here on the daily and the 12-hour, but over a couple days for both. They tried to step in right here and it just didn't work. And then they capitulated and we nuked. So I think the COVID fractal has a chance of playing out like similar fractal, similar mechanics, similar vol blowouts, right? Obviously, we didn't have a global pandemic, but like I mentioned, I said this on Twitter this morning. Here's the S&P 500 with the VIX overlaid. Yesterday was a historic day in markets. Like this was, besides COVID going back to March, this was the highest VIX spike or vol blowout since COVID, right? During COVID, VIX went to 85. Yesterday went to 65, but in 4 years, this is the biggest vol blowout that we've had. This is greater than 2018, 2015, 2012, 2010. Not quite as big as the great financial crisis. This was bigger than the vol blowout during the dot-com collapse. I mean, yesterday was a historic day in markets, right? So I think in that regard, there's a lot of similarities between the dynamics of COVID and where we're at right now. Obviously not global pandemic, but sort of like the mechanics and behind the curtain, similar capitulation event, right? Similar capitulation event. So the COVID fractal here helped me catch the short from just under 65K and de-risk around there. So I feel like I should continue to use that fractal on the way up as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I think worst case you get some kind of high or low, but
Speaking
Louis,
of COVID fractal, since I went live back then, there was a pretty decent CME gap, and right now we have created one of the biggest CME gaps in history. It's not just CME gap; it's a double CME gap, which has never happened before. So that's a huge issue to go back up there.
mm,
Whew,
Gaping.
that is
It's a gape.
that's a
Guys,
big boy right there.
mhm.
Neither gap was filled.
No
Yeah.
double
wait.
gap.
Oh
First
my
ever
what
god.
do we
double gap,
do,
bro.
guys?
Oh, we gapped through the gap.
Yes,
Oh
no,
my god.
we double gapped it. It's never
That's
happened.
unbelievable.
Who
Yeah.
could have foreseen?
What does that even mean? That's like a double rainbow, man. You seen like that's unbelievable.
Max, on a Friday on Discord, I was joking and saying, what if we like, instead of filling the gap, we gap through the gap? And people laughed and it happened.
I remember you saying that.
And a
Wow.
$1,000,000 question, guys. What do we do with CME gaps that are above us?
We fill them
Yes.
and we flip them. Hopefully. So I mean, here was the COVID one, right? So let me.
The halving was the year before the COVID crash, right? Or was it after?
It was the same year. Yeah,
Sorry,
was
what
like a
was the
month
question, Louis?
it was 2020.
Was the halving before or after the COVID crash?
After.
After.
It was after.
It was like a month.
The
or two
halving was after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, I think both of these like huge gap downs, these huge capitulation events are at times in the market where the market seems to be historically trending up. So I think these actually will play out similarly, in my opinion, if I had to guess. Like there's never going to be an exact, but
I mean, I see
I mean,
it.
what are we even talking about? Those gaps are getting filled. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So I
At
mean, this
least.
is your real confirmation. Is like if you did this, I gotta grab it. It won't let me
What?
copy. wait.
Jesse here. Let's do it.
Let's see if it will let me copy this. Nope.
Max, read this comment.
Hang on, I'm fractaling. I cannot be
Jesse
disturbed
says-
while I'm fractaling.
What if we go up and gap the gap of the gap?
Oh no, I don't.
The gap never fills.
Wouldn't that be funny? As if the gap never actually fills, but it gets danced around 3 times. So this would be like the COVID fractal right here. If we did this.
Check IBIT and the gap there, man. You think Larry Fink
Yeah.
will just let it go by?
Absolutely not. That's a big old gap on IBIT too. That's like a 10%
my.
gap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a 10% gap.
Bitcoin must have missed earnings after hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Seriously, though, why do stocks have earnings after closing hours?
Just
so
to-
they can be
Study
manipulated.
fraud.
Yeah.
The secret ingredient is crime, Jackass.
Yeah,
Study
man.
Gary Gensler protecting you.
Are you
feel
feeling
Do you
protected?
feel
You feel protected, Anon?
Are you feeling protected?
Fucking guy.
Oh my
This is a
god.
really ugly chart, man. Remind me to never buy a Bitcoin ETF. I mean, do we want to call this the weekly gap right here? Is that a weekly gap? Kinda? Sorta?
Kinda.
Sorta? A little bit?
I also read somewhere that I'm pretty sure BlackRock didn't sell like nearly any Bitcoin on this capitulation event. Don't know how true it is, but it's believable.
So
They
the
were.
opening price, the
Boomers
opening
even have a
price.
chance to sell other than yesterday.
No, they dumped
Yeah.
yesterday, bro. They dumped yesterday.
Oh, they did?
They dumped 184 million was the outflow, the net flow from Bitcoin ETFs, but ETH had what 50 mil of inflows as Grayscale sold 47 mil. So they got outweighed big time.
Wow.
They're about cooked on their ETH to sell though. Grayscale is like,
They got about 6 billion left, I believe.
well, that's a lot. But
I was looking at the outflows. They started with 9 billion. They have about 2 billion of like just straight up outflows, but then there's 1 billion in the ETH mini. So some of it, a portion of it's flowing into the ETH mini, which is good, which will curb a lot of the downside. But I mean, technically they still have 6 billion on the books, but
they are
hopefully at these
still
prices,
Go
they'll
ahead,
flow
go
into the mini.
Dude, they are still scammers for setting the fees the way they did, though. I mean,
Yes.
I'm
there's
telling you, there's
no
something behind the scenes with
reason.
that.
There is
I'm telling
literally
you, they
no
were like
reason
forced
to
to
do
do
that.
that. They're definitely forced to do that by like the big guys in the SEC. Like,
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I will say I don't hate Barry and Grayscale as much as everybody else because people can have short memories. Barry basically created the breakout from 20K back in 2021 or 2020. So for that, I will be appreciative. But now, yeah, he's like the biggest supply on majors when we launch these ETFs. But I'm not going to forget what he did to break us out of 20K. Not to be like a Barry truther, but
you're a defender of Barry.
I'm going to defend Grayscale and Barry a little bit here. We don't have the 2021 bull run without guys like Barry and Sam committing a lot of fraud. I mean, that's just the truth. It is.
Tommy, I have a question for you. How's he the only one that didn't get in trouble from last cycle?
I have no idea, honestly. No idea.
That's
I'm
one that
guessing-
I thought he would get snagged.
Well, so was Jump, and that's why they just exited. So was what's his name? The guy who runs Jump. Like he's absolutely gonna get in. Yeah, he's getting in trouble. Like that's probably why they just liquidated everything and he just quit or whatever.
What about Justin Sun?
He should get in trouble.
Justin Sun is also a relic.
Justin Sun. Yeah, I mean, Justin Sun's kind of like crypto heritage at this point, man. But he got annihilated on perps, so he is going to be my background for a few more days. You can check the Huobi open interest. He got smoked, but
did you
he's
see that
still
he
alive
commented on that, Tommy? He commented
What?
on it, and he said that was a rumor, that like it's not him or something.
It's
But it
him.
had to be.
Nobody else is trading that much size on Huobi.
Yeah.
It's definitely him. But he doesn't
could
have
be.
to be dead, right? Like his perps got smoked. He's still alive on DeFi. So Justin Sun is still kicking.
Study him. We're about to get CZ back too, man. Study the injection of crime back into the market. So bullish.
I mean, altcoins need a little bit of bad behavior from participants. I think that's like you look back at the last cycle, Bitcoin dominance dropped unbelievably low, largely because you had FTX and Alameda. I mean, we look back and it was pretty clearly fraud in hindsight, but it created a lot of opportunity for market participants. It ended up like destroying, obviously, a lot more participants, but if you're looking to trade this market in and out, you do need actors to create opportunities and liquidity for altcoins at the end of the day, even if it means pulling from majors. And that is usually what ends up starting alt season, right? Like they pull liquidity out of majors, they leverage it into altcoins, they leverage it into higher beta. That attracts more speculators because people still come for the altcoins at the end of the day.
What do you guys think about this? Orange is our current cycle. Purple is last cycle. Blue is 2016, 2017. All from bear market bottom.
I mean, what are we talking about, right? Like,
I'm literally saying all three of them converge at the same exact point, same drop for all of them, right before the craziness begins.
yep. Time-wise, that's exactly what happens. Like, everyone's freaking out because the halving year price action is garbage, but it happens every single time, regardless of what events create that scenario, right? Like, oh, this time it was Japan blowing up their economy on a weekend. Like, just happens
is
to
why
be a
I say-
thing.
This is why I say that black and white swans are such a meme, because market cycles are market cycles at the end of the day, right? Like there's always going to be something that we don't know that creates these like super wide tails in either direction, but it's just kind of a part of a normal market cycle to have those events.
You want to know about the halving here too, which is crazy, is that within these fractals, all of the halvings occurred right here on all three of these fractals. 2024, we were in April. Like I'm off by a little bit. It was right here, right before that little scam pump in the purple. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Hang on, Bitcoin halvings. Okay, so like this little scam pump here in 2016, then the drop, and then COVID recovery right after that for the 2020 cycle. Right after COVID, you can see there was the halving, and then before that little scam dump for 2 cycles ago. They were literally all like right around here, and all of them are converging. Look at that, man. It's the same. It's the same every time.
Dude, they literally
It's a
had to
feature,
turn off
not a
the
bug.
Nikki because people were bidding too hard. Did you see that?
No, you pull up the chart.
They had a circuit breaker to the upside on the Nikki because people
I
were
saw that.
bidding so aggressively the other day. I don't even know where. It was probably like this move or something, but yeah,
Chart
so it got
control.
smashed over the weekend.
Why
or
does that look
whatever.
like ETH?
Bulls holding support. Bills are trying to hold the line there.
COVID fractal? There you go. The V recovery on a higher time frame, but the just like this action
Circuit
on the
breaking in that
lower.
though.
Huh? I mean,
That's
it
what
looks
they
like
circuit breakage.
it looks like yeah, they circuit. It was like 20% that it pumped or something. Yeah, it was like
Don't they
15.
call this
Circuit.
Japan's Black Monday? What does the 1987 fractal on Spoos look like on the on the Nikki or the Nikkei? However you say it, I don't know how to say it.
Wabi says to Nike. Wait, you want me to put 1987 over this?
I mean, I haven't done it. I'm wondering what it looks like.
I bet it's identical. I'm on the 4 hour. It's not gonna work. What year am I in?
Thanks, Jack Sparrow. Appreciate that.
God, the fact that happened is so funny to me.
I mean, dude,
That's wild, actually.
right?
Let's bet on this.
Let's bet on this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about, right? Yeah, pretty much. But see, that is what you see with kind of the black swan things is like The same thing. Somebody put COVID on here too. The same. Oh my god, guys, this is wild. I'll do it. I'll do it for the boys. We'll do it live.
This man's about to cook.
We'll do it live.
Pupils are dilated. I can see it.
Yeah,
He's locked in. Oh, thank you, Jack Sparrow. We gotta put. Did we put him on the screen yet? I know Louis just said something. Thank you, Jack Sparrow. Very, very kind of you.
We gotta go.
We love when we get super chats. Thank you, Jack. Max,
Welcome.
Please read. Please read what? What happened here?
Did you say you're welcome, Jackus?
All right. Just the recovery on COVID, just the recovery, right? Like I assume the Nicky's gonna do this too at this point, but this Black Monday move, it was the same thing out of COVID, right? You had the wick and then you had the higher low. I would expect the Nicky to do that. And I mean, maybe you get that out of Bitcoin, maybe you don't, but that's kind of my bear case for Bitcoin is setting a higher low. Like, yeah, we might need to go 4 screens. We might need to go 4 screens.
You might need to go soybeans in just a second here.
I know we will. We will absolutely go soybeans.
I just I'm shocked, honestly. I'm disappointed. I feel betrayed.
Yeah.
Rugged to soybeans immediately.
Hold on, Jacob. Hold on.
They exhausted all their like buttons yesterday, I guess.
We got a lot of likes yesterday, man. I'm on the replay too. Let me see what the final count was. The final count for yesterday's stream, including the replay, if I could get my phone to load, was 815.
Wow.
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 815. So
Those are bull market numbers.
those are I'm afraid I'm gonna lose all my money numbers. Everybody wanted to tune in yesterday.
What the fuck's going on?
Thank you for the super sticker, my friend. Thank you. I don't know what you just said.
That's a Czech guy. That's a Czech guy.
What did he say?
It says, "Come create with the universe."
All right. I appreciate that. We'll do that. Thank you.
There it is, man. There it is.
Damn, I was here when 30 likes was TP. Yeah, that was real. I remember when we had like 4 people watching the show when we first started it.
You can now long BB likes on the poly market.
That'd be sweet.
What do you guys think about this right here?
I'd love to tell you what I think about that.
Up only.
The S&P did it. Bitcoin did it. The Nicky's probably about to do it. Like this is the bear case, in my opinion. You get a retest of like 51.5, and then you're good at worst. And these events were way worse than what just happened. Also, by the way,
looky, look who we have here.
Big Lars,
Mr. Wyckoff himself.
Yeah.
Lars, thank you, sir. Very kind.
And I love this donation because this is like a true free market capitalistic television, basically, right? Where like we are providing content and you guys are appreciating that content with money. That's like the best. I'm loving it. I love free market.
Yeah, thank you guys. But so Tucker, this is amazing. Actually, what I'm going to do, because this is too amazing and I don't want you to have to destroy this chart. We're going to go back here and then I'm going to pull up this chart and I'm going to go to the soybeans cash contract. Okay. And I'm going to put on the Heikinashi and we're going to go down to, let's go to the 15 second. Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of TA on the soybean cash contract chart. All right. But in the meantime, Tucker's gonna tell you exactly what we need. Or actually, I think maybe Jackus could do it. Jackus, could you get the people fired up today, man? Because I don't think we can continue with the likes as low as they are. It just doesn't feel right, you know.
It doesn't. And it's like a parent constantly telling something his kid. Like, why do we have to keep doing this, guys? Just before the show starts, guys, I want to see 50 comments. Press the damn like button before the show starts. We start the show. There is 100, 200 likes already. We can just keep on cooking. It is what it is. No, it's the unfortunate social media incentive structure which is broken. I hate it myself. You guys know how I hate it. But unfortunately, this is how this channel can grow and get to more people. So please, I do not want to bang on this no more. We want to keep on cooking. Just help it grow.
Max drawing ranges on soybeans.
You wouldn't understand, bro.
There is no second. If anyone would understand, I would understand.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, for real, if you are enjoying the content, please help support the channel. It costs $0 to like the stream, and it helps us so much. We are almost to 20,000 here on YouTube. We show up every day. We give it our all. We grind as hard as we possibly can. And all that we ask for in return is that you don't caress, you don't touch, you don't lightly tap, you destroy and you smash the like button. That's all you have to do. Don't go at it timidly. Dive in head first. Smash it. All right.
Liquidate the like button.
If you send me a picture of your broken mouse, you get free BB month. Okay, you get a free month in BB Discord if you send me a picture of you smashing your mouse after liking the button, guys. All right.
Some
Let's see what we're at
arbitrage.
here.
Smash their mice and send you pictures, bro.
That's real. Yeah, I want them to
Yeah.
smash the like button. Yeah, look at this, man. This is a great comment. 815 likes yesterday to 215 today. It looks like the CME gap. Bro, that's an award-winning comment right there.
That's a goddamn rug pull.
Can devs do something?
The market cap of the like button just went to 0, man. 215, all right. But
I mean, we'll just sit here. I'm protesting. I'm upset. I feel hurt. All right, 233. That ain't bad. Tucker, back to you.
Can we just look real quick though? Like, look how similar COVID and Black Monday looked, dude. Like, look at that. Do you see that? Just like 1, 2, 3, bang. 1, 2, 3, bang. Like, we're gonna send so hard. It's not even funny, man. It's not even funny. But here's what I was gonna say was like, am I gonna wait to bid the sweep or the pullback or the retest? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, guys.
'Cause what if you don't get it? No guarantees.
Study just being long to the gills and just being unbothered and moisturized.
Well,
like,
all right, let me ask you a question though. Okay. So we know that historically the stock market has corrected pretty shortly after the Fed introduces its first hike. Or I'm sorry, not its first hike, its first cut. That's coming up September 18th, so 5 weeks.
mhm.
Do we expect this time to be different? And if so, why? Because, and Jackus, I want to hear from you on this because I know that I know that you know the data, and I know that you know the probabilities, and I know that you've studied what has historically happened. When the Fed cuts in the US, typically risk sells off. Why would risk rally from now through the first batch of cuts while we are also seeing US unemployment climbing?
because I pressed the green button at the lows.
I like that. I do, but like for real, why would it? We got a bad US unemployment print. Fed's going to cut in 5 weeks. Bitcoin and crypto are technically still risk, right? Why would they ignore that and continue to rally? Or is it just all priced in already? And the market is just way ahead of itself right now.
Everything's priced in. Even the drop in like buttons today. Everything has its cost and being priced in. Which the like button is being priced in tomorrow's soybean chart, right? Which is going to come earlier than today. No, but listen, it's a very broader discussion when it comes to like all the unemployment, Fed funds rates, and bonds and all of that. So it's a little bit longer discussion, and I ain't sure cooking for 200 likes. It is what it is.
See what you guys did. He just went back on mute.
It's over.
He's upset. He's upset, and I don't blame him. He's upset. 815 likes yesterday. Not even 300 today. Tucker, what do we got here?
We got the boys club again. We got the boys club again, guys. I will keep hammering home. This was absolutely your level to bid the boys club. Now, I don't
Can you
even
do me a favor?
know.
I'm sorry, Tucker. Could you change that to mega demand rather than weekly OB? Because that's what that is.
It is indeed mega demand, and you could even draw it from like here. Like that's your
Cents
order
to
block,
max.
but
I'll cover the 5-cent charge. Just type mega demand instead.
you want mega demand.
Well, it is mega demand.
I mean, it is clearly like
Yeah.
this is your little Evan Casey 3-bar reversal right there. So yeah, I don't even know if you're gonna get like if you get Bitcoin to sweep like 52 that you're even gonna go all the way back down here. That was capitulation in my opinion. And this chart also just looks like, you know, I think you're gonna far exceed that this time, but fading the slow bleed on this is the move in my opinion. Yeah, you can chart it like I've charted against. Again, this is it against Bitcoin. I would say it looks better than the USD pair. ETH looks even better than Bitcoin, of course. Sol doesn't look as great though. Sol doesn't look as great, but you did
Wait, what? Sol doesn't look great?
I feel
No,
like
no,
Sol
no.
could look good. It's like a little bit of elbow grease
Oh,
away
God.
from being the best looking major.
No, he's saying
no,
Sol
no.
against Boys Club.
Yes.
Oh.
Boys Club against Sol is the worst looking pair.
Study
that is
selective
charted
hearing.
against.
My gosh, you guys.
They're like, wait, Sol doesn't look good? What?
You were talking for 5 minutes, and the only thing that they heard was Sol doesn't look good.
I know.
It's the
That's
only
what they
thing.
took away. I mean, study this, man. It was better to be in Sol since June, and now it is not. Now it is better to be in Brett, Andy, Wolf, and Pepe.
Study
it. Yeah, if you didn't have exposure, now's the time, man. Now's the time. I mean, the charts look good. Study Andy. Oh, who could have foreseen that? Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, we are just breaking above where I wanted to
goodness.
see us. Yeah.
Wow.
Study the downside fake out on the Andy Pepe pair.
Dude, someone just called us low energy. Is that real?
Wow.
I actually think that's
He's a Red Bull.
one critique I don't think I've ever heard on the show before.
Low energy. I don't know about all that, but
They want us to be like riding a Peloton while we talk about the charts, I guess.
I feel like they want like Jim Cramer or something. Sleepy voices, brother. We haven't slept in 48 hours because of this market.
yeah.
The result of market conditions.
We ran 2 emergency VC Discord calls at like 3 a.m. this weekend twice. So
I'll take it as an excuse to have more stimmy.
there you go.
All right, well, let's get jacked up. Louis been quiet. Jackus is protesting speaking. Tommy's been mute. Let's go, boys. Fire it up. Come on.
Louis, what's up, brother?
Max,
What's
but
going
maybe,
on, boys?
Let's see a chart. Let's see a chart out of Jackus or Louis or both.
Louis, go for it.
Yeah, I was just looking at. I think I might have lost it. Let me see. I got to share my chart first. I was just looking at the cycles as a whole, just the timing of it. Hold on. All right, let me share here.
Now, Louis, remember, you have to scream into the camera. All right? Fire it up.
All right, I'm shared. If you want to.
Sure.
Boom.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I've been stressing to the Discord group, and that's that these cycles, they take time. You know, they take a lot of time. I mean, I've been here since 2018, so it's been a while. But on average, these cycles, you know, take anywhere between 1,000, to 800 days. And if you just that's from low to high. 2021, I actually count the first peak as the high, just because I feel like that second peak was kind of, I don't know, it was more of like a deviation type of manipulation move, in my opinion. So yes, I mean, if you just take an average of, cycle low to cycle high, and you get an average, I'm looking at a cycle completion, around like end of Q2, early Q3 next year. That puts us in the summer of next year. So in times like these, when you get these, these big plunges, these big capitulations, these are great opportunities for people to, people that are still around by now. Like, I'll tell you what, like a lot of people came in the market here, January, February, March of this year, with ETF news. We had, Bitcoin breaking all-time highs. It was all over the place. And for 5 months, if you were an early and you got in then, you got chopped up for 5 months. And then at the final, knife dagger to the chest was, yesterday, the last couple of days of price action, just complete decimation of everybody who got in late, that time of the market cycle. And historically, we have about 300 days to go, anywhere from like 250, 300 days, if we're going to follow a normal Bitcoin or crypto market cycle. And these plunges and these consolidations and these cascade events, they provide opportunities to front run retail, because retail's gone at this point. And I'm telling you right now, they're not buying the lows. They never buy the lows and never will. They're going to start buying once we start getting back above 70K, 72K. And right now we're at what? We're at 56K. And alts are all fucking got decimated. Excuse my language. But they are coming into high time frame demand zones. And this is where you get your opportunity to front run retail again. If you were a person who came in February, March of this year because you saw Bitcoin on the news, you figured, oh, it's time to get back into crypto, and you got chopped up and you had a horrible time, guess what? That's part of getting into crypto. I got in 2018. I bought the top of this. I bought all this. Trust me, I know what it's like. And then this just freaking decimated. And then I got decimated here when the floor gave out.
I'm just picturing Louis buying like every day 6 months, just buying Bitcoin just to get rugged at the very.
Yeah. But guess what? I didn't give up. I wasn't like, I'm out. I just said, you know what? I still have conviction. I bought here. I rode this. I bought here and I rode this.
Study being a warrior.
Yeah, you just got to be, it's like forge and fire. I mean, like, if you haven't experienced getting dunked on in crypto, you're just not going to make it. You know what I mean? If you have and you stuck around, the chances are higher you're going to make it.
Louis, right? Some guy, he was an 18-year-old kid. He messaged me, or it was in the comments of my, like, it was a tweet maybe over the weekend or something. I don't remember. And he was like, hey, I used my rent money to leverage trade and like I lost $6,000. That's all my money. Like, what do I do? And I responded to him and I said, I'm sorry that happened. One, never leverage trade using money that you need to live your life. And two, you're 18. You have plenty of time to make it back. Three, everybody that you follow that is successful has gotten their teeth kicked in this market numerous times and either lost everything or gotten liquidated or something. It's a rite of passage. It's an
Yeah.
initiation process, and 99 out of 100 people get their teeth kicked in and go, that hurt too much. I don't want to ever feel that way again. I'm never
Exactly.
coming back. But that
Yeah.
1 out of 100 that say, okay, I got my teeth kicked in. Now I'm pissed off. I'm going to figure out how to get that back and then some. I'm going to kick the market back. Those are the people that, if you can get through that pain and that anguish, like what you're talking about, buying at a bad time, but not shying away from that pain, but leaning into it. Those are the
Exactly.
people that go on to make a lot of money in this market. But you have to get your teeth kicked in. And people have asked me before, like, to mentor them or like give them a lot of help. And like I help like friends and family, you know, get like position, like if they'll text me, be like, hey, what do you think about this? Like I'll let them know. But I mean, like people have asked me to seriously like help them learn, not just like give them plays here and there. And I've responded to some people when they've asked me and been like, have you ever lost a lot of money trading before? And if they say no, then I say you need to do that first. I'm not ready to help you. You're not ready to learn until you've gone through that. It's like going through like a bad breakup or something. Like you have to go through that mourning process of just feeling like a piece of crap and losing money and bad trade after bad trade. And you know, you have to and it sucks, but you do, you know. And then if you come out the other side, it's pretty rewarding, you know.
Pain is the best teacher in markets at the end of the day.
People,
the only way
it's
you're gonna
not,
learn.
yeah, 100%. It's not even just markets, man. Like I hate that life is this way, but people learn through pain and struggle. And if you don't like to learn through pain, then you're not going to make it very far at anything.
People do not know, but this is actually the best alpha. It's not the TA, like these psychological lessons, they are the most important. But you'll only be able to tell once you get into those 1% that Max just spoken about.
I promise that all of us up here on this panel have gotten our teeth kicked in before numerous times.
There is a solution, by the way, to this comment, Max. Maybe you want to address that.
Maybe we should just show them the P&L from the drop. But if you want Jackus to trade for you, he's a trader at BB Wealth Management, and he's actively managing a book right now. So if you want Jackus to literally trade your own money, we are an SEC registered fund, and we can legally do that for you. You can go to the Because Bitcoin Twitter profile, and you can see BB Wealth Management is up there. You can send us an email. We can schedule a meeting and explain to you how we can both long and short the market. And you can actually have Jackus trade for you if you would like to do that. So check that out. I had a dream Jackus took over my portfolio and I became a billionaire. Maybe dreams can become reality because Jackus can now legally manage your money for you as a part of BB Wealth Management. Study. All right, Louis, what do you got here? Got a little swing.
Taking a look at
downside, Louis.
Altcoin market cap. I did have this, consolidation falling wedge type pattern here. And we obviously lost it, but I mean, look at the weekly chart. We got bought up and we're now back inside this consolidation as well. This to me looks like either a false breakdown or a deviation of this level. And as far as where we are in the cycle, which I was just talking about, I know I've been saying this for a couple months now. The last couple of months have been really tough to navigate, but I still think we're on the precipice of, altcoins starting to take the lead here and start the breakout. But we need to obviously do this first. But the fact that we held this consolidation pattern here, we held this key demand level in red. We got bought up. This is all wick here. And this is a weekly candle. Obviously, we have some time on this. We have 5 days left. But if we could close our weekly around this level and hold this wick to the downside, I still think altcoins look extremely promising and they're at like key levels where you want to buy in front run retail. Like I was saying earlier, I think this is a great opportunity. Like volatility brings opportunity in these markets. I feel like I've never bought a dip like this or a cascade like this and never came out the other side profitable. Whether, I mean, sometimes you got to wait longer than others. Sometimes, like COVID, I remember exactly where I was. COVID, I was in Savannah, Georgia. We went for the St. Patrick's Day parade. It got canceled, but we went anyways right at the beginning of COVID. And I was sitting on the couch and I was watching the news, and the markets were tanking and Bitcoin was dropping like 5K, 4K or something like that. And I remember sitting there buying it because I had conviction at those lows, and that turned out great. Bitcoin ended up going to 70K almost a year later. So those were great times to buy, and that's what the market's giving us now. And if you want beta to that, that's altcoins, and that's what we're looking at here. This is altcoin market cap. And like I said, if you can close at this level, if you can close above $500 trillion market cap, not trillion, that'd be great. $500 billion market cap for altcoins. I think we're still in a great spot here to continue our trend higher, back at least to the old all-time highs, which is around 1.1 trillion. And like I've said in the past on these streams, we historically blow through the old all-time highs. Last cycle, we didn't only get past it, but we blew through it. And by a good number here. We ended up going on another 3x of the old all-time high of altcoin market cap back in 2021. So I really do think that the gains are here to be made to the upside in this market. I know it's tough. I know a lot of people have been burned, but like we were just talking about, that's the cost of doing business. And welcome to the most volatile asset class in the world. And guess what? The volatility works both ways. For what you see volatility to the downside, you can see just as much volatility to the upside and get that spring effect off of these forced sellers that we've seen over the past day or two, in my opinion.
Louis, is it your base
just
case?
one
Go ahead, Jackus.
Just one off topic to Max, when you were asking me about like the unemployment and Fed funds rate and how it all like lines up together. So I was releasing a newsletter just yesterday discussing exactly this there. Like how does it go timing wise with crypto and what does it all mean? So if you guys are interested, there's a link in my bio on Twitter. But back to you.
Louis, is it your base case that we basically see a COVID style recovery from here? I know we're entertaining it, right? I mean, it's maybe a little premature to suggest that, but I don't think it's too far fetched. But is that kind of what you're planning for right now? Is that this was just a major overcorrection due to turmoil that wasn't directly tied to crypto markets? It was more like the broader global economy, and this was a knee-jerk reaction that ultimately should now reflexively overcorrect back to the upside? Or do you think we spend some more time down here?
My initial instinct wants to say, yeah, I think we recovery out of this like we've seen in the past, like we did with COVID. But like you were saying, Max, well, I mean, you were saying on the morning call at least, even that took a couple weeks. So, I mean, looking back at the chart, like, oh, wow, went straight up. It did take a little time and it took a little chop. However, I thought we were going to go up. We were going to, catch a bottom around here and be recovered, but we didn't. So I don't want to show up here every day and be the perma bull. But after we do see forced selling like we do here, like what was this move here? I guess just like if you want to take it from the middle, that was like a 21% plunge in like 2 days. Usually when you have forced sellers in the market, and you have buyers that are willing to step in, usually you do see a big reaction out where it's hard for people to get in and catch the lows. But that can take weeks. But I mean, a lot of the charts I'm looking at, like this is a view I've had before we had this dump. Like this formation still holding up. We still have all of these untapped highs here now to the upside, which I mean, like what are the odds that gets left there at a market peak of a market cycle? I think that's highly unlikely. And we do have around like 300 days to go. So we do have time to maybe meddle around here a little bit, but I don't think we have a lot of time. I think, Bitcoin's got to make a move, and I think markets have to recover pretty swiftly here. But like you said, maybe a couple weeks. But ultimately, if we're looking at it as a level to level, if we get back above 56.5K here, I think that's a great start. You know what I mean? If we reclaim these lows, And it's not a guarantee, but if we reclaim this level here and hold above it, I think we're going to move up to maybe this mid-range area pretty quickly, in my opinion. If we do reject here, and kind of come back down, maybe do like a double bottom or like a sweep of some sort, it might take a couple weeks down here to maybe form a range down here, and then break to the upside. So it really just depends. The next couple of days are going to be crucial on giving us an idea of how this market's going to bounce back from this cascade.
I agree.
Tommy.
No, I think the next few days are very important. I will say my hesitancy really comes from the fact that we had such a significant, not just a shock to the markets, right? But we had such a big shock to global market liquidity. So I don't want to necessarily overreact to 1 or 2 days of price action. But I do think it is something that needs to be taken into consideration as well. I know Japan bounced back last night. I think that's a positive, especially if it continues to trend higher. And I would say I generally favor more so that we've probably, I mean, I don't know if we've necessarily bottomed on majors, but I would say a majority of the downside off the highs on majors is probably over. But I still think you have to take into account like global market liquidity when it gets shocked like that in a way that made the VIX spike to 65. Yes, you will have a bounce from the VIX declining, but there is going to be underlying problems in the market that we can't really see. And I don't really know if I think that resolves in one day. So we could end up looking like a V recovery on a higher time frame, but on a lower time frame, I don't think that we're gonna like. I think it is kind of about time frames, right? And Louis put it best: crypto over a long enough period of time, if you're just kind of buying in at high value or at high value levels, when people are capitulating their positions, you're usually going to win at the end of the day. But I think on a more short-term and immediate basis, the market probably still needs to do some digesting of what just happened over the weekend and then so far this week. So I think the next few days are going to be really important, right? Like if equities look really, really strong into the end of the week, I think that would be a very positive sign for markets.
I agree with you, Tommy. I do. We
Hold
were
on, hold
we
on,
were
hold on.
looking at
Let me just was like I agree with like it was a shock to the market or whatever, but like so was COVID, right? So was Black Monday, right? And look, study is right. Like I
think
you
those
know what I'm
events were way
saying?
worse too.
These were way, way worse, and you still had like your
but
worst case here was a
see, it's
higher low.
but
Like
this is where I agree with Tommy is that like even if the low is in hypothetically, right? You didn't actually go on to get above the point of origin of the COVID dump for Bitcoin for like at least a month, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's
sure.
like we're not going to go back up to 70K in like a week, right?
No,
I don't
but
think you get a much quicker snapback than COVID. I don't think that's ever happened before.
if you're gonna say this is like COVID or like Black Monday or whatever, then it's like, all right, lows are in. Why wouldn't I bid this structure? If this
A lot
is
of bull
what
shop.
you know what I'm saying? Like this was also a shock to market. These were bigger shocks than what we just saw, arguably. Right. So I'm just like,
You're right.
if
You're
this
absolutely
isn't the
right about
base
that.
case, then like is the base case, I guess, like that you're here or something,
No. And by the way, like Tommy, you remember I was texting you before I hedged out at like 65K that night, and I sent you the COVID fractal. And then when we started breaking down and we were at like 50, 57, I said, this is the acceleration part. And then the floor gave out and we finished the fractal. So I feel like we were in agreement the whole time on where we were within the COVID fractal. And I think it sounds like we're probably in agreement that like this could be a bottom potentially, unless we get another VIX spike and another like acceleration with something that hasn't happened yet.
Mhm.
But it still takes time. Like, dude, Tucker, measure the amount of time it took before Bitcoin got back up from the Pico low to the point of origin of the COVID drop. How many
Yeah,
days?
no, it
was
was 47 days. I've done it. It was 47 days or something like that. But like the origin of the drop was here. Yeah, that was 81.
Okay, so and by the way, that would be Bitcoin back at like 72. Like you should know you need to position long before that. But
Yeah,
even if it's like, even if it was half of that, right? You still have 30 days of like, let's get our feet underneath us. And I think that's what it will take is like, I wouldn't expect I don't expect an all-time high for Bitcoin this month, but I am bullish going into like September and October. One, seasonally, yeah, it makes sense. Two, this was a hell of a wipeout. Like people that are saying like this wasn't a wipeout, I showed you the chart of the VIX. In the past 3 decades, we've had less than a dozen vol blowouts that are even comparable to this. NASDAQ bubble in 2000 collapsing, great financial crisis, COVID, like 2019, like so many, like this was up there. This is a vol blowout that is up there with the biggest recessions that we've ever seen, hands down. It was
Max,
a big wipe. Yeah.
one thing that absolutely caught my eye here in this verse, I want to make a mention of it, and it's like probably the best alpha there. It's from Zach, and he says, "This is a recession. BTC has never been through a real recession. You cannot compare BTC fractals to find where we are at. This is uncharted." So this is an exact comment that I have saved up. It's in Czech language, but I have this saved up exactly from COVID. And I had a Czech guy, which I had discussion with back then, and I was telling him why we are going to go up. And it's also the time I started my Twitter, and he legit was saying exactly what you are saying right now. He was like, this is a global pandemic. You cannot use TA on, global pandemic. You cannot look volumes, nothing like that. This is an uncharted territory. What do you think is going to happen? It's all going to come crashing down. And if you are up on if you are up, you should take profits because it's going to go down again. This is legit what he told me back then. It's like a copycat of that. And I wanted to share this experience because I went through COVID on every single minute candle. I was there when the trading got halted. I consider myself, I'm not a gifted by God or anything. I've just been here long enough, experienced enough, and learned for myself a lot. So I do value these experiences, and having a comment like that, once again, when this type of sell-off is so similar to the COVID one, it's not the same situation, they are not the same, but the type of panic, the type of sell-off, the type of buyback we are getting so far is the same. And not only that, now I'm getting exactly the same comment, and I have it on my other computer, but I'll look it up and send it to the BB guys on Discord, because this is insane psychology. Like, this is why I think cycles will keep on repeating forever, because each time people behave the same way unless they learn.
Mhm.
And it's the same kind of recession argument that counters the price action, right? And I know I would assume you subscribe to the same belief that I do. It's like, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. But it is, and I wasn't actively trading like I am now during COVID, at least not crypto. Like I was in crypto, but not as active as I am now. When Bitcoin crashed to $3,000 or wherever it bought, it was like around 3,000 during COVID. How many people out there would have expected that 364 days later, Bitcoin was at 64,000? Probably not many, right? I mean, probably some, but not many. Because why would you? The economy's shut down. Does it get much worse than that? There's a global pandemic. Why would Bitcoin go from 3,000 to 64,000 in a year? It's like right now, the yield curve has never been this inverted. U.S. unemployment is on the rise. Banks have never been had this much unrealized losses on their books. It's like there's always a million reasons to be bearish, because you do have a bunch of clowns kind of calling point on some really important stuff. But If there's one thing you can bet on, is that you got to bet on the Ponzi continuing. There's a lot of people that refuse to get involved in the market because it's a Ponzi. And on the other side of that, there's a lot of people like me that they need to get involved in the market because it's a Ponzi. Who do you want?
And I legit think, Max, I legit think that these things like do matter. I do not think they are going away, and I think the recession is going to be a real thing. But I think where lots of people quite obviously will be fucking that up is in the timing.
Say more. What do you mean? Timing?
They will ruin those narratives in timing. The recession and all these problems, they did not go away. But you need to go levels to levels and need to see what happened to Wix and so forth, and that things take time to unfold. They take time to roll over. I said that all bears will be right last year in 2023 when there was that big pullback in equities. But I said also they will be right, but not before they are proven horribly wrong. And it's super tough. Like these times are super tough timing wise, but it comes to the timing. And I think, yeah, anyways, I'm not gonna say that more.
Tucker, please mark that as the Great Depression of August 5th. Japan liquidated.
Japan decided to liquidate themselves.
Sorry, I didn't know Japan was about to liquidate themselves.
Yeah, literally.
An all-time Tucker tweet, man. Tweets like once a month. Sorry, I didn't know Japan was about to liquidate itself.
Seriously though. But like, okay, like if this is what we're going off of, and these two events were arguably far worse than what just happened, like even if it's going to take 45, 50, 80 days, like for me, I'm like, why wouldn't I just bid, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like does that make sense?
Dude, I'm with you. Like, I'm sitting on some stables, but like I am overwhelmingly long. My hedges are closed. I've got some stables that I'm ready to just mix shove.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tucker's the new prime minister, man. He's now got a board seat.
Yep. No, but I guess I'm really asking Tommy, like, Tommy, what do you see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I see what you're saying. I just think
I'm not trying to like come for you. I'm just like, this is what
last time we came for Tommy, exactly what he said was going to happen happened. So I'm not coming for Tommy anymore.
Yeah, that's not what this is. Sorry,
because it didn't age super well. So I think I'm just gonna be quiet. But yeah, do your thing, Tucker. Enjoy this. Yeah, this will be fun.
Go ahead, Tommy.
No, I agree. I just I don't know that we've seen everything that needs to kind of unwind, like I said, related to this event. I will say, like, the charts we've kind of compared this to, I think, with the exception of like Black Monday, right? I mean, Black Monday probably occurred over 2, 3, 4 different New York sessions. COVID obviously occurred over a few weeks. I think we only had really one day.
COVID was a few days as well, Tommy. Sorry to cut you off, but COVID pretty much was just a few days too, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
COVID
was like what, 2 weeks? The whole sell-off
from the top, it was like, I mean, top to bottom, it was like a month. So, but that was top to bottom, right? So, I mean, the big drop happened. It took like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, a week maybe.
I just don't know that this is quite comparable yet. We did wipe out a lot of people, right? Like locally, bulls got absolutely destroyed. But I mean, you can look at the open interest. We're back at, I mean, all of these events that we're displaying were devastating for high time frame positioning, where what kind of happened over the last few days was more so devastating to local positioning, right? Like if you look at Bitcoin and Ethereum open interest, we're literally just back at April levels. It's not, it really wasn't, it was devastating locally, but I don't think it really altered high time frame positioning all that much. So I just kind of want to see a few more days of price action. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like. I could see the bottom being in here for sure. I just want to give the equity market a little bit more time to digest what I like. I really feel it's a shock to liquidity as much as it is. You know, we saw a huge impact on price. The underlying liquidity of the market was heavily impacted, especially when you consider how long a lot of that yen leverage has been present in global markets. Well,
You
yeah,
think
like I
about
said,
this line that-
if equities are ripping into the end of the week, it'd be very difficult to see the bottom not being in.
what do you think about this line though? Like, would we like? I know it's open interest, but like, do you hold that? Do you lose that? Do you want to hold it? Like, what do you?
What is that line?
Because like
And
this is open interest too, right? And I'm
open
pretty
interest.
sure. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure it's the same as Coinwise, but like
Let me see.
you're back to April, but you're also back to like 2021, 2022. Like it's not like crazy overheated, right? Like even December of last year, mid pump, right?
Well, if it can find, I mean, if we can find the buyers to send open interest parabolically, right? Like it's a pretty classic all-time high retest, right? But again, like COVID and Black Monday, these are events that, I mean, they significantly altered high time frame positioning, whereas we've just kind of rebalanced like 3 or 4 months of longs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think I still think we're really close, even if we do see more downside from a time perspective. You look at what's coming for markets in September and October. I know the Treasury is going to begin to do Treasury bond buybacks, which will stimulate the market. Not really in August, more so in September and October from a pure volume standpoint. And those should serve as tailwinds for markets to send into Q4. Just depends on, you know, where is that going to be from?
Never really charted open interest this much. Like nuke, 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 nuke. And were they all bottoms though? I mean, besides the bear market year, which you got to kind of throw out because we're not in like a bear market year. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to read. I feel like you're gonna do either a COVID or you're gonna do something like this because you range for a while, and then you resolve to the downside, and then you right. But just from an open interest perspective, like because you're probably gonna need to like curl up again, probably like do that. We'll see. It could take a little time, but
I mean, even if we do, I'm super comfortable with the fact that we have so much demand below us. You know what I mean? Like just from 2021 market structure to even like that 40 to 45K level you see, it's clear right below us. So the fact that we have all that demand, yeah. I'll call that ultra demand. Mega demand's a bit outdated. It's a bit pre-Swan event.
Okay.
So I'll call that ultra demand.
What?
Louis just gets so wrecked during the job that he cannot afford to be paying 5 cents to Max every time he uses Mega
so
Demand.
I can't. I need a paycheck. So I'm gonna use ultra demand. But the fact that we have so much demand below us, even if we do continue to cascade, I mean, I can't see us. I mean, dare I say it, like breaking 40K. If we break 40K, then you know, we need to start looking at different asset classes. So even if we did continue just maybe one more cascade, something else breaks within the next couple days, we have a lot of demand below us. So and just where we are in the market cycle, I'm not too concerned about it. You know, is what it is.
I'll feel pretty certain about where we're at in a few days, to be honest. Like by the end of the week. I think a majority of the digestion should probably be done by the end of the week.
Yeah.
I think one major like one of my major thesis is still that this drop was totally not about crypto, but totally about external factors. So I think that if like they got kind of sorted out for some time, I do not see a reason why crypto shouldn't just rebound to where it was prior to the drop, basically.
There
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is.
I don't disagree with that, but I think that might be my only counter to that is that that's a little bit of an isolated view that crypto performance is not contingent upon TradFi performance, which I don't know if I am totally behind, because it's like the reason that stocks took a dive and crypto took a dive is for the same reasons, right? So if that risk, which you were saying is kind of isolated to TradFi markets, poured over into crypto to the downside, if it's not resolved yet, it's going to be tough to see a reflexive snapback.
I agree if it's not resolved and we continue. Sorry, I like tell people that I cannot be talking at this time, and legit all people are calling me at this time. Like,
Oh, like
I had
on
a
your
phone
phone.
call. Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, on my phone. It's stuff like that. But yeah. So and I kind of lost my thought. But like, when I was saying that, like, this is not an isolated crypto reason why we dropped. It's not like FTX blew up and hence why we dropped in crypto. It's more due to the outsize or like external factors, and I'm not saying that they do not affect crypto, because they certainly do, and this is what I exactly was saying before the drop, right? That there are so many risks, but I think that the risk that was out there got sort of like over panicked at the moment. These problems will sort of get absorbed and postponed later on, and only then they will roll over once again. But locally, if it was not crypto related, I do not see a reason why crypto shouldn't rebound to prices where it was, because I think that crypto is right now one of, like, fundamentally, really, we are like basically, listen, what has happened? We have cleansed the market. We swept the spot hands, the largest since FTX, all of it, right? But we got rid of the Germany selling. We are kind of getting rid of the, Mount Gox and all of this shit. We have the ETFs launch already, and we will probably get a regulatory clarity in the next few months too. I think the whole asset class is ready for just send it. Really, just press the button and send it. I think the asset
Bros.
class is ready for it.
It'd be so fun. It'd be so
Bros.
fun.
Are you seeing what I'm looking at right now?
You're moving your chart around.
I didn't realize that on a lower time frame, Bitcoin already wick, sweep, wick, sweep, wick, sweep, wick. Well, this is ETH, so who cares? But
Hey.
hey, but like maybe like crypto speed runs, right? Like this was COVID, it was worse, so I'm just gonna take that and run with it.
Okay, but
Study.
are you sure that Black Monday and COVID on the ultra low time frames, like the 1 hour, didn't do exactly that as well before doing a higher time frame version of it?
No, I'm not.
Because I don't think you can scroll back to 1988 on the 1 hour chart.
No, you can't.
Unfortunately,
tried.
not. I've tried.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, I
has
know
for
you for sure
tried.
have, Tommy.
But study how it resolves either way. Study how it resolves
I
right
see what
now.
I see what you're saying.
You
I do
guys
see
see
what
what
you're
I'm saying. Yeah, you see it.
I
We
just
do
I'm
get that
I'm
second
kind of
speed.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's why I'm still heavy stables, is because I see what Tommy's talking about, you know.
Yeah.
And like I'm really still, even though I don't have any like hedges active right now, I am in the camp that it's not going to go to all-time highs in a week. Like even if it does this and we're bottomed, there's a certain sense of comfort that I have having a little bit on the sidelines just in case it pressures the low again. You know, and if I'm wrong, I am overwhelmingly long. No question about it, you know? No question.
What do you guys think about BNB here? I
haven't
really
even
don't know what
looked
to
at
make
it.
of the chart. I mean, it's totally schizo on a higher time frame.
Wow. Bottoms in. Anyway, BNB.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Predatory
We
deviation.
need, dude, just literally just long it the day CZ gets out. That's it.
That literally looks like a big middle finger.
Yeah, it does.
It's like, fuck you.
That's
See you
funny.
later.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a
Oh.
high market cap moving like that.
When is CZ getting out?
September.
September, I think. End of September.
Bullish.
September 27th.
That
So
timing
bullish.
is lining up so much.
I bet it rallies into CZ's release and then sells off and then rallies after.
Well, if we get a cut, maybe. Like you're saying, if we get that cut in September and then see another pullback, if we get a nice 30 days of maybe a trending upside market, God forbid, for a little bit, maybe we do see a cut around September. I mean, maybe a pullback in September.
Thank you for the super chat, Jason. Jason says, will you do another video with Crash again soon? Also get the like up, peeps.
Oh no.
Yeah, I haven't talked with
Where are we
Crash
at?
in a few weeks, but yeah, we could definitely do another video. I feel like the last two have gone pretty well, so I'll hit him up. And I feel like we said last time like we'd give it like a month or two, kind of let some price action settle and then do a little check-in. But yeah, I'll hit him up. That'd be fun.
Did anyone sell into these bounces? Did anyone sell anything into these bounces we've seen yesterday and today?
I sold my short hedge, if that counts.
I sold some ENA.
I sold nothing,
Yeah.
Louis. I sold nothing.
I skimmed some small positions that were like kind of underperforming for me, and like I'm waiting to see if we get this second kind of rollover. If we do, I'll have some perpies ready to maybe trade that, as well as maybe rotate into smaller, stronger, more conviction plays that I think are going to perform well. So I mean, if you didn't happen to sell before this, big dump, and there are some plays that you've been, debating, should I sell this? Should I hold it? And you have other plays in your portfolio that and are more confident sitting in. Now is the time to maybe reevaluate, and you get a second chance of restructuring those portfolios. I sold some stables. Nice Dorito. Attaboy.
All right, guys. We've been going for about an hour and a half. I think that's it for today. Tommy?
All right, I will take us out, guys. But thank you, as always, for tuning in. Big week, right? So obviously been a big last few days, a lot of volatility, a lot of opportunity, like I said at the start of the show, if you're an investor, and opportunity if you're a trader as well. I mean, just look at the way some of these charts are moving on a lower time frame. I'm sure some people are getting absolutely chopped to bits trying to trade this for one, but if you are tactical about it and don't size like a complete butt, you'll probably do pretty well trying to at least scalp this, right? If you're a trader, that is. If you're an investor, you view these as some deep value investing levels, of course. But yes, like I said, a lot of opportunity and a lot of volatility in the markets. These are good things ultimately for us as market participants, especially, if you're watching Market Check and you're an active market participant. But yeah, to run down a few things before we finish up. Max mentioned it earlier on in the show, but we do have our new SEC registered official hedge fund, BB Wealth Management. We are beyond excited that we can bring that to you guys. Not just that we as a team can trade it, but also that we can bring it to you, the opportunity to invest and really take a part. And I mean, some of you guys have been here for a really long time, right? So maybe you want to become more than a community member. You want to become an LP or accredited investor in the fund. And if so, we do have more information linked in the description below. Just a general overview of the fund. We are digitally asset focused, and we navigate financial markets in a way that takes into account, obviously, their historic asymmetric upside returns with the investment risk posed in any market. We did very well on this dump, guys. Oh, what's up, Tucker? We did very well on this dump, guys. We were very hedged for it. Even made some money on the dump. So if you want us to trade your money for you, check out the description below. I think we do a pretty good job. But moving on to the BB Academy, guys, that has been launched now for about, I want to say probably 3 or 4 months, but it's still, for my money, the best course that you can find on all of crypto Twitter, whichever kind of realm that you reside in. It's not very often that you're able to learn from an entire team of traders and a bunch of traders who all trade very differently, right? Like, I approach the market very differently than Max, Jackus, Tucker, and Louis, and Wabi. But that's, I really think, where so much value is. You get to see from a myriad of people how they analyze the markets, how they take trades, and of course, ultimately how they make money. So if that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description below. Keep an eye out for the BB terminal, guys. It should be launching here very, very soon. We kind of showed some screenshots of it yesterday, some use of it. So check out yesterday's stream as well if you want to get a sneak peek of our newest product. And it's one that we are very excited to bring you guys. So check that out. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. It should be coming very soon. Of course, don't forget, Market Check. We'll be back for another episode tomorrow morning. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we go live, and we are live Monday through Friday whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. But yeah, we hope that you enjoyed today's show. We certainly enjoyed cooking it up for you guys, and we'll be back tomorrow and later this week. Market Talk is our Twitter Spaces hosted by the legendary King Wabi. Make sure to stay subscribed and following our Twitter so you can be notified when that show goes live. Think of it like a fireside chat, right? We have a lot of great guests on. Wabi does a fantastic job. And, if you're looking for a bit of a fix after Market Check, a little bit less chart oriented, obviously, Market Talk is the perfect place to go. Yeah, just relax and listen to some guys talk about markets. So that is it from us, guys, though. Like I said, we hope that you enjoyed the show. As always, we will be back for another tomorrow. To our Giga Chads, we will see you in the afternoon for the call. But yeah, as always, thank you again, guys, and stay safe.
Debated.